Well, hello, friends. Real quick before we kick off the episode, I have to let you know about something exciting. I am seriously considering having an upgraded version of this podcast where you get bonus episodes and exclusive content. But here's the deal, I'm trying to decide what that content and those episodes should be. I do have some ideas, and I was wondering if you could vote really quick and tell me what you think about what would entice you, what would be interesting to you to get as bonus episodes on this podcast. For example, deeper dives into topics. Maybe I'm answering questions that many of you ask about starting or growing a business. Maybe even overhearing coaching calls, something like this. It would be a paid, upgraded version of this podcast, not very expensive at all, probably just a handful of dollars a month, but it be extra content for you to help you along your journey. My whole goal is to help you build your business dream. And I would love to offer you even more because some of you are asking for it. So if you could just look down in the show notes right now, there's two ways you can give me your answers. Number one, I have a Google form with 5 quick questions. It can be anonymous. You just answer them and vote on what would be interesting to you. Or number two, I have a voice memo system. You can just click it and you could just leave a voice memo with your phone right now and just record it and tell me what kind of topics, what things would be interesting to you behind the scenes, market news, what would be things that would be extra that would be really valuable to you. So thank you all so much. Okay, on to the episode. Well, hello, I'm Kimberly Brock, and for the last 20 years, I've been running my own businesses that have not only been profitable, but personally fulfilling to me. And so now I'm on a mission to help other women just like you do the exact same thing. Now we're going to have some fun, so let's get started. Well, hello, it's episode 33. This is Kimberly. I'm your host, and I am so glad you are here today. Today is a great quick episode about how you can start making money while you sleep. It's true, you can. So thank you so much for listening. If you are new here, then welcome. I'm so glad you have made it. I love to help people who are getting their businesses going, setting up all the back-end systems and technology. It's something I dearly love to do. Yes, I'm kind of a nerd. So welcome. I would love to help you too. If you've been listening a while, then please, would you give a star rating right now if you're an Apple Podcast or Spotify? And you can even give a written rating too. But a star rating, if you would give a 5, that would be amazing. It helps them show it to people who are building their businesses too. And it just makes it spread faster. So thank you so much for doing that. So now let's get on to the episode. I wanted to talk to you about how you can make what we call passive income selling digital products. And I haven't talked about this before. I don't know why, but I've realized now there's so much value in this and it's just crazy. Everything with Corona now is online and everyone is scrambling, trying to figure out how they can make money and turn their knowledge, their experience, their skills, or their strengths into something that they can make money at. So it's not that hard. You can do it too. And I'm so excited to tell you that there is no better time than now. It doesn't have to be expensive to do it, but it is a little bit of a process. And you've got to take time to kind of work through how you would sell your knowledge or your experience and how you could make an impact on others' lives. Because let's face it, that's what you're doing. You're helping people save time and money and fast track to something. And so you're making an impact, which is awesome. And that makes me so excited for you. And I know everyone has something that they can share with the world. So the first question is, what is a digital product? I've had people ask me that. So a physical product you can think about, for example, you've heard me talk about my online stores that I sold gifts and everything. And we physically packaged it up and shipped it to people, blankets and cutting boards and all kinds of gifts, right? So digital products are things that you download or you watch or you view online and you pay for it. So it's usually someone is telling you how to, complete some type of process, how to go through some type of process, how to quickly take steps in a certain direction. I mean, you've seen, life coaches do different workshops and seminars. And you've seen people if you know how to remodel a house, right? You can sell your knowledge and you've seen it online. People teach you the sequence of events of how to remodel a home. So there's so many ways that it can be done. So it's super exciting. And it can be something that they download as well. It could be some kind of cool documents or spreadsheets that you've created that are amazing and would save them so much time. So here's how it works. You kind of need to go through, and I'm going to tell you 3 like preliminary ways that you can get started thinking about how you might be able to sell your knowledge or expertise or experience. Okay. And it's not going to be super detailed. This is a 10,000 foot view, but I do have a printable for you. You can scroll down right now on the link. So if you're walking, if you are driving, you don't necessarily have to take notes. You can just print it out and start working on it yourself and keep it out at your desk. So make sure you scroll down to do that. So the first thing you need to do is really decide on the direction. Okay. What's the direction that you would be taking? What's the topic? So maybe you've got experience homeschooling. Okay. And you could help people fast track their homeschool process. Maybe you know how to remodel homes, like I just said. So you could fast track and give them the sequence, right? Because that's what people want to pay for. They want to pay for the secret sauce, the sequence, right? We actually have a lake house ourselves. It's a small little lake house, but it got flooded a year ago, and it has taken us forever to redo it. And my husband has kind of taken this on himself to like hire out the different people. And we sort of had a contractor working with us, but man, knowing the sequence is the secret sauce to remodeling the house, because you have to put the floors in before you have to, do the cabinets first, and then you have to get it painted. And then we had to put doors on. Then we had to get a patio. There was this whole, you had to do one thing. The plumber had to come, the electrician. It's just crazy, right? And so people will pay to fast track processes like that. So what in your life do you have experience with? And so maybe you brainstorm either something you're passionate about, maybe you know how to bake really well and you know how to decorate cakes, right? You can sell that knowledge. So just kind of think about, maybe you're a photographer, anything. Photographer, baker, you know how to crochet. There's all kinds of topics, and you can learn about anything online. And you don't necessarily have to be a teacher. I'm not a teacher, and I'm going through this myself. So just so you know, you can learn how to succinctly teach others what you know. So you've got to figure out the topic. Then you've got to figure out, also, what is the problem that you're really solving for people, and kind of work through that in your head. And then you need to work through who is the target audience. Okay, so this is all under that first section, which is the direction. So topic, problem, who's the target market. So let's say you're remodeling homes, and we live in Houston, and you knew that it had just flooded and a whole bunch of people's homes were flooded and they were going to have to remodel, right? You could market to people that maybe were damaged by flood, and you could help them go through that process, right? Or maybe you're a home decorator and you want to target people who they have homes that are 25 years old and most of them haven't been updated in that area, and you want to market to those people who really want to update their homes, right? You have to just think through who in general is your target market. So again, that's the first section, is figuring out the direction, the topic, the problem that you're solving, and then the target audience. The second thing you're going to do is kind of outline your knowledge. So kind of start mapping out. You can do it on Google Docs. You can do it on a piece of paper. Map out, and again, I have the printable for you. You can write it on there too, is just kind of a basic outline. So if you bake, what are the 3 main steps? Like if you want to try to map it into 3, and I would suggest picking something that's simple at first. That's what I have done. As I said, I am almost done creating my first workshop. Some people would call it a mini course. I call it a workshop, and I've talked about it on previous episodes, but it's going to help people who are really struggling trying to figure out what type of business they want to start. So when I was brainstorming all of this, I thought right away, I knew the 3 modules that I wanted to have. Right away, I knew, they've got to be able to discover themselves. They've got to know themselves first. So that's crucial. So that's the first obvious choice. The second one is they've got to understand different business models and different ways that they can make money, and kind of brainstorm that and get creative. So to me, that was the second one. And third, it's the actual brain dump of all the ideas and then the narrow down tool. And that's the third one. So that's what my workshop is. It's very simple. And it's clear, and it's just those 3 things. But I'm telling you, even that it being that simple has taken me a long time to get this all together. Number one, because I'm not a teacher and I'm not used to having to be this granular and talk through things like this. But number two, I just had never done this before. So I wasn't clear about all the tools. And now I've investigated so many different pieces of software, ways you can do it. You can do it for free. You can do it for paid. There's so many options. I could talk for about 3 hours on all this. It can be a long process. Don't let yourself do this. Come up with the topics. And then I'm just going to tell you this right now. Ask for help. I'm here. I have just gone through all this and I'm going to be doing it again and again because I actually really like it. I'm figuring out which ways I like best to present everything. And if you need help, I'm sorry, I'm totally not trying to plug myself in the middle of this, but I just have to tell you, if you need help, you can spend an hour with me and we can knock this out so that you don't waste weeks upon weeks like I did researching everything. Okay, because it can suck up all your time and you really need to be focused on this content that you're bringing so you can start making money as quickly as possible. Okay, so you need to come out with a basic outline, maybe start with 3 or 4 main sections of how you would teach someone this. So think if you were teaching your spouse or a family member, friend, what's the 10,000 foot view of how you would teach them? And that's what you do first. You do that whole outline. The third thing is figuring out how you are going to deliver this. How do you feel most comfortable? It could be audio episodes like this. It could be video files. It could be written files. It could be workbooks they download. It could be all kinds of printables. It could be an ebook. It could be so many things. So think about now, where do you think you are best? Do you write really well? And maybe it is an ebook. Are you really good on video? For me, I'm doing kind of a hybrid model. So I'm doing video. I'm also doing screen share, meaning I have some slides up because I know that I could sit there and talk to them and they would just see my face the whole time. But I think people retain it better if they see bullet points and lists. So I'll have my little picture down in the corner and have a slideshow up with the bullets so they can go through the course, right? And then I also have printables. So this worksheet entails inner work. So they do need worksheets. Some stuff people aren't going to need. Some courses people aren't going to need worksheets. This one, they will. So I kind of have had it all in this workshop. And so I've experienced that, but you've got to think about that. Is it more video? Is it more workshops? And just kind of get that 10,000 foot view. Again, this is just the overview. And you can just start thinking this through. And then you would take the steps toward actually building it out. And again, there's free ways, there's paid ways that make it so much easier and simpler. It depends on what pricing level you're coming out. If it's obviously really expensive, it's going to need to be top quality, all that stuff. But I say just get your feet wet and get this thing going because you can get slowed down because I'm telling you from personal experience, mine has gotten drug out forever. And this is even my thing. I love technical stuff and software. And maybe that's what slowed me down because I've tried so many and analyzed everything and pros and cons. And I feel like I know so much now about it and I'll be able to move really fast on my next one, but it can slow you down. So that's just my biggest piece of advice. Don't let that happen to you because you need to start making money as soon as possible. Okay. So that you get a return on all this. So that's what you do. Again, it's number 1, figuring out the direction, which is your topic, your problem, your target market. Then 10,000 foot view outline, maybe 3 or 4 modules. What are those basic things that you would tell someone that would be the sequence of how they would do it? And the third is how you would present it. Would it be video? Would it be worksheets? What are you envisioning? So think about that. Also, I just have to say, if you are not part of my Facebook group, you can scroll down right now and get in it. And if you have questions about just starting some type of course or workshop, maybe it's an in-person workshop, maybe it's an ebook, we can help each other in the Facebook group, give guidance because so many people have advice on this kind of thing. And I know a lot of people are just starting. So it can be hard trying to weed through it all. Y'all, there is so much online. There is new software coming out all the time. And it's really hard to keep up. But I can definitely give you direction and save you time because I would just hate for you to be stalling in getting this to market. So that is it. Make sure you get in the Facebook group. It's for women building their businesses that they love. So thank you so much for listening. I hope that you realize that making passive income, being able to make money while you sleep, and sharing your knowledge with the world can be awesome. It can be profitable, and you can make impact and you can change people's lives. You really can. If it's something real serious, I mean, I've heard people struggling with infertility that have created courses on how you can go through, different steps you can take. I mean, it's amazing what you can do for people, right? But it can also be fun things. It can be hair tutorials. It can be makeup. It can be anything. Okay, so the sky's the limit. I hope you'll work on them. Again, the printables are down below. You can click that, print them out, and start working on it. I'm so excited for you. Thank you so much for listening. Now, this episode may be over, but our relationship does not have to end here. Head on over to KimberlyBrock.com, and yes, you can get more valuable information for your journey. And you know what? You don't need to go through this alone. I would love to help you. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Bye.